Hello, thanks for joining me. I'm Coach Brian Spears, head trainer here at Northwest Elite Spirit in Chehalis, Washington. Personal trainer, long distance runner, mixed martial artist, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu blue belt, and I've been trying to think of how to share with people the benefits of Jiu Jitsu. The thing is, I could post articles that other people wrote and I don't know, quote scientific data, but like you would still never really have having all that data doesn't help you understand Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu better, or your own personal experience with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So what I like to do is I can talk from my own experience and I'll share that with you. I guess these are things you can gain if you practice a certain way, if you allow for certain things, disallow for others. The first thing I really like about jiu-jitsu, and probably the most important one to me, is what I call the calm within the storm. There's all sorts of things going on while you're practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And the more you can relax, the better off you'll be. You face different, I guess, storms, and a lot of it is physically it's a storm. You're moving, you're trying to breathe, forgetting to breathe, you're get a lot of resistance to where you're going nowhere, or you're moving fast. And so there's it's like a storm as far as physically. But then also in your head, there's things that can be going on. Like when you're getting crushed by somebody, and a lot of pressure, that can be a storm that is hard to deal with, and you're trying to figure out how to get out from under there. You could be going with somebody, say, younger than you, who's really aggressive and has lots of energy, and that can create a storm in your head, that older male, younger male dichotomy that goes on in society. Or you could be going against somebody you outweigh by 20 pounds, and you're the one you think is supposed to be doing the crushing, and they're zipping around, ending up in these positions that are that you don't see coming, or just don't respond to in time. And there's that. So there's the mental storm, and you learn to stay calm within all of that. All of those things that could be going on and are going on, just relaxing, not relaxing lazy, but relaxed but ready. And then I could just take that into other parts of my life, relaxed but ready. The stress of a job, even just say a physical job. You're given a task that's hard, and maybe new, and you just stay relaxed, and you perform a lot better when you can have that stress, but meet the challenge. And then mental stress, it's the same. So you have a boss who's kind of, I don't know, being aggressive, and you have the ability to just relax and work within that stress. So I think that's one thing that I've gained, and the most important thing that I've gained from jiu-jitsu. And it's literally well, how do you practice that in jiu-jitsu, and how can you practice it in life? Well, you literally relax, take a deep breath, and just relax. just loosen up. It's fine. A lot of times you'll find like a guy will be giving you like a forearm to your chin or something, and like you're like resisting, but if you just like relax, that forearm will like slide off. And it's a lot of that, you know. Again, that can be transferred into real life. Somebody's coming at you really hard, and you can just kind of slide off into breathing. So breathing works everywhere. Works in the gym. Works at work. Always. In the knowing things are gonna be all right. So like you could be going through all that, and even if you've just had a few classes, you quickly learn. You can quickly learn that things are gonna be all right. Like this is hard. You're having this challenge. Another challenge is coming because you get a minute rest, and then you know partner up again. But at the end of the class, like everything's all right. So I've read some articles, and people talk about physical touch. Like that may be one reason jiu-jitsu is why some people like it and why it's beneficial. Like having physical touch is a social need that we all have. I haven't thought about that one much. That one for me is like a maybe, because we're also sensitive with like types of touch, right? So like we like physical touch, but there's some touch that we just do not like, and maybe somebody trying to choke you is one of them. But then again, I guess you become like desensitized the more you practice, and then so that's a maybe for me. But what I have gained in it is another social thing that I think we all need, which is trust. You have to trust your teacher, so find teachers you can trust. You have to trust your partners, so find partners you can trust. And yeah, you're putting your well-being in their hands. You know, they're trying to armbar you, they're trying to ankle lock you, they're trying to choke you. It's just, you know, their personal body or a gi or your gi. And there comes a certain amount of trust that has to be had there to be able to work with somebody like that. And then you also have to trust yourself. You build a trust with yourself that I can handle this. Like, even again, if somebody's being aggressive or they're just really good, and you're confused, you have to trust yourself that I can handle this. And you can, and you have people around you to help you handle it. So that's cool. So like I was saying, knowing people are going to take care of you. It's important to go out there and find a teacher that's going to take care of you and not put you in bad positions. Of course, you're a grown-up and you got to take care of yourself, but sometimes we get excited. Put ourselves in situations that lead to, I don't know, lack of success. And a teacher, a good coach will kind of keep you on the right track. So you have to find a teacher that you can trust. Yeah, and you also have to trust, like, there's a lot of trust that you can handle bullies too, because there are bullies. And there are people out in the world who don't care for your well-being as much as, you know, you need to have around you. And you can trust yourself to speak up and say, I'm not rolling with that person, or set some ground rules beforehand. And so there's that personal trust that you gain in yourself too. If you, again, that you can gain in yourself, not that you necessarily will, but you can. The trust too of just initiating like a relationship with somebody, this type of relationship with somebody. there has to be a lot of trust there to meet somebody new, go up, slap hands, bump fists, and roll jiu-jitsu, practice jiu-jitsu together. There's a lot of trust, like that initial step. So it's like that short-term leap, or that short-term, like, trusting within the moment, and then trusting over time, because BJJ takes time. Creativity. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is a martial art, and there is a lot of creativity to be had there. Moving, gyrating, manipulating, and malleable object in front of you. In Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, you're like handling that, like, right now, in real time, creating, and not only creating, but like hijacking a creation. So this guy does a thing, I use that thing to go to another thing where he has, you know, if he's been practicing, he has a thing, and it's like these branches of creativity that go on and on. And at the same time, like, it's principles and techniques. And these principles and techniques are like, I try to put it like this, these are like your brush strokes or your tools, your instruments. So one principle will work, and you wouldn't think it works over here, but like if you think about it and actually practice it, there's principles that work, you know, on top and on bottom. Whole lot of principles, and like different angles, so not just top bottom but side. There's a whole lot of principles, and each one is like I said, a brush stroke or an instrument towards the ultimate creativity or the ultimate outcome. And again, this translates into real life, like, but you have to let it, you know, you have to understand that if you can do this here, you can do that there. And you have to allow for it in your life. It's not like, yeah, that'll work in BJJ using principles and techniques, but over here that's not going to work. No, the principles and techniques may be different, but the principle of principles and techniques works wherever you're at. And again, that goes into that creativity. Creativity kind of means being able to think outside the box. So if you can go into Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and grab these tools and techniques and then bring them outside of that box and finding ways to make those things work in your life. I'm Coach Brian Spears at Northwest Elite Spirit in Chehalis, Washington.